Every dream you have is only one habit away from becoming real. But here's the painful truth. Most people don't lose because they lack talent. They lose because they ignore the small things that quietly decide their future. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is not one big moment. It is 10 small decisions repeated every single day. The question is, what are you repeating today? One day you wake up and wonder where the years went. You look at your life and realize that nothing dramatic happened. There was no single day that destroyed your future. There was no giant mistake that stole your success. Instead, it was the tiny choices, the mornings you slept a little longer, the books you never opened, the conversations you avoided, the opportunities you postponed. Day after day, they quietly shape the person you became. That is why your future is never created overnight. It is built one ordinary day at a time. Think about a builder constructing a skyscraper. He doesn't place the final floor first. He starts with a strong foundation. Nobody applauds him while he's digging into the ground. Nobody takes pictures of the concrete being poured. But without that invisible work, the building will never stand. Your life works the same way. The habits nobody sees are the ones that create the success everybody notices. The good news is this. You don't have to change your entire life today. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need endless motivation. You simply need to work on the right things consistently. Because consistency always beats intensity. A person who improves a little every day will eventually pass the person who waits for the perfect moment. So let's begin with the first thing you must work on every day. Work on your mindset. Before you change your results, you have to change your thinking. Every action begins with a thought. Every success begins with a belief. Every failure usually begins with a story you keep telling yourself. Have you ever noticed how two people can face the same challenge but react completely differently? One sees an obstacle, the other sees an opportunity. One quits, the other grows stronger. The difference isn't the challenge, it's the mindset. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thoughts don't need permission. Fear doesn't ask before entering your mind. Doubt doesn't knock on the door. It simply walks in if you leave the door open. That means every morning you have a choice. Will you feed your confidence or your fear? Will you focus on excuses or possibilities? Will you complain about yesterday or prepare for tomorrow? Your mind listens to everything you tell it. If you keep saying you're unlucky, your brain starts searching for proof. If you keep saying you're capable, your brain starts looking for solutions. Your words become your reality long before they become your results. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Every negative belief is another rock. Every excuse is another rock. Every regret adds more weight. Eventually, you wonder why life feels so difficult. The truth is, you've been carrying things you should have dropped years ago. Replace thoughts that weaken you with thoughts that strengthen you. Instead of saying, I can't do this, ask yourself, how can I learn to do this? That one question changes everything, because it moves your focus from limitation to possibility. Now here's something that surprises many people. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes after action. Waiting to feel confident before you begin is like waiting to become strong before lifting weights. It never happens that way. Every small victory teaches your mind that you are capable. Every promise you keep to yourself builds self-respect, and self-respect becomes the foundation of confidence. The second thing you must work on every day is your discipline. People love motivation because it feels exciting. But motivation is like the weather. Some days it's sunny, other days it's stormy. If your success depends on motivation, your progress will always be unpredictable. Discipline is different. Discipline shows up whether you feel like it or not. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It doesn't ask for easy conditions. It simply gets to work. Imagine two runners preparing for the same race. One trains only when inspired. The other trains every morning, even when tired, even when it's raining, even when nobody is watching. Months later, who do you think crosses the finish line first? Success always rewards the person who keeps showing up. Many people think discipline is about punishment. It isn't. Discipline is actually an act of self-respect. It's telling yourself that your future matters more than your temporary comfort. Comfort whispers, stay where you are. Discipline replies, become who you're capable of being. Every day, your comfort zone invites you to stay the same. It tells you to postpone your workout, delay your project, ignore your goals, and settle for average. It sounds reasonable because comfort always does. But here's the hidden cost. Every time you choose comfort over growth, your future becomes a little smaller. The amazing thing about discipline is that it gets easier the more you practice it. The first day is difficult. The second day still feels uncomfortable. But after enough repetition, what once felt impossible becomes automatic. You don't become disciplined overnight. You become disciplined one decision at a time. The third thing you must work on every day is your knowledge. The world is changing faster than ever before. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The people who continue learning continue growing. The people who stop learning slowly become outdated. Knowledge is one investment that nobody can steal from you. Read a few pages every day. Listen to meaningful conversations. Study successful people. Learn from your own mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes too. That is even faster. Imagine carrying a lamp through a dark forest. Every new lesson lights another step. You may not see the entire journey, but you always see enough to keep moving forward. Many people believe they don't have enough time to learn, yet they spend hours scrolling through content that changes nothing about their lives. Ask yourself this. If you spent just 30 minutes every day improving your knowledge, where would you be 1 year from now? The answer is probably somewhere you can't even imagine today. Knowledge changes your decisions. Better decisions change your habits. Better habits change your future. The fourth thing you must work on every day is your health. Without energy, even the biggest dreams become difficult to chase. Your body is the vehicle carrying you through life. Imagine owning the most expensive car in the world. Would you fill it with poor quality fuel? Would you ignore maintenance until it breaks down? Of course not. Yet many people treat their own bodies with less care than they would treat a machine. Your future needs your strength. Your family needs your energy. Your goals need your focus. Sleep well. Move your body. Drink enough water. Eat foods that give you energy instead of stealing it. These sound simple because they are. But simple doesn't mean unimportant. The biggest opportunities in life often require the energy that small daily habits create. Here's the powerful truth. Every healthy choice is a vote for the person you want to become. No one else can make those choices for you. Every meal is a decision. Every workout is a decision. Every bedtime is a decision. And every decision is quietly writing your future. Most people wait for a wake-up call before they change. They wait until their health declines, their finances struggle, or their relationships begin to fall apart. But wise people don't wait for emergencies. They prepare before life forces them to. Because the greatest success isn't fixing problems after they appear. It's building a life where many of those problems never appear in the first place. And that's where the fifth daily practice begins. A habit so powerful that it quietly multiplies everything else you do. It is often ignored, underestimated, and yet it separates those who merely stay busy from those who truly build remarkable lives. The fifth thing you must work on every single day is your focus. We live in a world where almost everything is competing for your attention. Notifications never stop. Social media never sleeps. News keeps changing every hour. Entertainment is available every second. The greatest battle today is not a lack of opportunity. It is a lack of focus. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever picked up your phone just to check one message and somehow 30 minutes disappeared? You can't even remember what you were looking for in the first place. That is how distraction steals your life. It never announces itself. It quietly takes 1 minute here, 5 minutes there, an hour somewhere else. At the end of the year, those small moments have become weeks of lost potential. Successful people understand something that most people overlook. Every time you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else. If you say yes to endless distractions, you are saying no to your dreams. If you say yes to procrastination, you are saying no to progress. Time is always making the choice with you, even when you refuse to make one yourself. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while dozens of holes are leaking from the bottom. You keep pouring more water, but the bucket never fills. That is exactly what happens when your attention is scattered. You work harder but accomplish less because your energy keeps leaking into things that don't matter. What if instead you closed those holes? What if you protected just 1 hour every day for your most important goal? 1 hour of complete concentration can produce more results than an entire day of distracted effort. Ask yourself a simple question every morning. What is the one thing I must complete today that will move my life forward? Not 10 things, not 20 things, just one important thing. Finish that before the world starts demanding your attention. The people who achieve remarkable results are rarely the busiest people. They are simply the people who know what deserves their attention and what does not. Now let me ask you something even more important. What is stealing your focus right now? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Is it endless scrolling? Is it worrying about things you cannot control? Whatever it is, remember this. Anything that repeatedly steals your attention is slowly stealing your future. The sixth thing you must work on every day is your attitude. Life will never give you perfect conditions. There will always be unexpected problems, disappointments, delays, and setbacks. If your happiness depends on perfect circumstances, you will spend most of your life waiting. Your attitude is one of the few things nobody can take away from you. Circumstances may change, people may disappoint you, plans may fail, but you still have the power to choose how you respond. Picture two people caught in the same storm. One complains about the rain, the other searches for shelter and keeps moving. The storm is identical. The difference is their attitude. Many people believe positive thinking means pretending everything is fine. It doesn't. A healthy attitude simply means believing you can find a way forward even when life becomes difficult. Every challenge carries two hidden gifts. One is a lesson. The other is strength. But only the person with the right attitude will discover them. Have you noticed how some people become bitter after failure while others become wiser? Failure itself doesn't decide your future. Your response does. Every setback is asking you a question. Will this stop you? Or will this teach you? The answer determines everything. The seventh thing you must work on every day is your communication. Your words create opportunities long before your skills do. You may have incredible ideas, but if you cannot communicate them clearly, people will never understand your value. Think about the people you admire. Chances are they know how to express themselves. They know how to listen. They know how to ask thoughtful questions. They know how to encourage others instead of tearing them down. Communication is not just speaking. It is listening with genuine attention. Most people listen only long enough to prepare their next sentence. Very few people truly listen to understand. When someone feels heard, they trust you. When they trust you, doors begin to open. Every conversation is planting a seed. Some seeds grow into friendships. Some become business opportunities. Some become life-changing partnerships. But every seed depends on the words you choose today. Before speaking, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? Those 3 questions can save relationships, protect your reputation, and build respect. Never underestimate the power of kind words. A few sincere sentences can completely change someone's day. Sometimes they can even change someone's life. The 8th thing you must work on every day is your character. People often chase success while ignoring character. But success without character is fragile. Eventually, shortcuts are exposed. Pretending becomes exhausting. Masks always fall. Character is who you are when nobody is watching. Imagine someone finds a wallet full of money on an empty street. Nobody is nearby. No cameras are recording. No one would ever know what happens next. That moment reveals character. Doing the right thing, only when people are watching, is reputation. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching is integrity. Every promise you keep strengthens your character. Every lie weakens it. Every excuse chips away at your self-respect. Every honest decision builds confidence from the inside out. Your reputation is what people think about you. Your character is what you know about yourself. And at the end of every day, you have to live with yourself far longer than you live with anyone else's opinion. People may admire talent. They may envy success, but they trust character. Trust takes years to build and only moments to lose. Protect it every single day. Now here comes something many people never realize until it's too late. Everything we've talked about so far, your mindset, discipline, knowledge, health, focus, attitude, communication, and character are deeply connected. Ignore one, and the others begin to weaken. Strengthen one, and the others begin to grow. It's like building a bridge. Every beam supports the next. Remove enough beams, and eventually the entire structure becomes unstable. This is why lasting success is never built on one great quality. It is built on many daily habits working together. But there are still 2 daily practices left. And these final 2 have the power to multiply every other area of your life. Without them, your progress will always feel slower than it should. With them, everything begins to accelerate. Most people overlook them because they don't produce instant results. Yet over the course of months and years, they become the invisible force behind every meaningful achievement. The 9th habit may seem ordinary at first, but once you truly understand it, you'll never look at another day the same way again. The 9th thing you must work on every single day is your actions. This may sound obvious, but it is where most people fail. They spend years collecting information, watching motivational videos, reading inspiring books, making detailed plans, and waiting for the perfect opportunity. They become experts at preparation, but beginners at execution. Knowledge without action changes nothing. A dream without action remains a dream. A goal without action becomes a wish. Look around you. There are people with incredible talent who never reach their potential. There are brilliant minds whose ideas never left a notebook. There are gifted individuals who stayed exactly where they started because they never took consistent action. Now think about the opposite. Have you ever met someone who wasn't the smartest person in the room, yet somehow achieved extraordinary success? They weren't lucky. They simply kept moving while everyone else kept thinking. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates bigger actions. And before long, your entire life begins to move in a different direction. Imagine standing beside a giant flywheel made of solid steel. On the first push, nothing seems to happen. You push again, still nothing. A third time, a fourth. Your muscles begin to ache, and it feels almost pointless. Then something changes. The wheel moves just a little. You push again. Now it turns a little farther. Soon, each push becomes easier because the momentum you've created starts working for you. Life works exactly the same way. The hardest part is not becoming successful. The hardest part is getting started and refusing to stop. Too many people quit during the stage where nothing seems to be happening. They mistake invisible progress for failure. But just because you cannot see growth doesn't mean growth isn't happening. A seed spends weeks underground before anyone sees a single leaf. During that time, the roots are growing stronger. If you judged the seed by what you could see, you would believe nothing was happening. Many dreams are abandoned during the underground season. Don't let yours be one of them. Here's a question worth asking yourself every evening. What action did I take today that my future self will thank me for? Not what you planned, not what you intended, not what you talked about. What did you actually do? Because life rewards movement. It rewards effort. It rewards persistence. The world rarely pays you for your intentions. It pays you for your actions. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You will never feel completely ready. Stop waiting until you have more confidence. Confidence is earned through action. Stop waiting until fear disappears. Fear rarely disappears before you begin. It usually disappears after you've taken the first step. Remember the first time you learned something difficult. Maybe it was riding a bicycle, learning to drive, speaking in front of people, or starting a new job. At first, everything felt uncomfortable. Your hands shook, your heart raced, you doubted yourself. But every repetition made you stronger. Eventually, what once seemed impossible became ordinary. Growth always hides inside discomfort. If your life feels too comfortable all the time, ask yourself whether you've stopped growing. Every meaningful achievement requires stepping beyond what feels familiar. That doesn't mean taking reckless risks. It means taking responsible action, despite uncertainty. The 10th thing you must work on every single day is your purpose. This is the habit that gives meaning to all the others. Without purpose, discipline becomes exhausting. Without purpose, hard work feels like punishment. Without purpose, success eventually feels empty. Purpose answers a simple but powerful question. Why? Why are you waking up early? Why are you making sacrifices? Why are you refusing to quit? Why does this dream matter? People who know their why can endure almost any how. Think of a ship crossing a massive ocean. Storms will come, winds will change, waves will rise. But as long as the captain knows the destination, every adjustment still moves the ship toward its goal. Without a destination, even calm seas become dangerous because every direction feels equally meaningless. Many people drift through life exactly this way. They wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. Years become decades. One day they wonder why life feels empty. The answer isn't always that they work too hard. Sometimes it's because they forgot why they were working in the first place. Purpose doesn't have to be something the entire world applauds. For one person, it may be building a better future for their family. For another, it may be creating something meaningful. For someone else, it may be helping people overcome struggles they've already conquered themselves. Purpose is deeply personal. Never compare yours to someone else's. A tree doesn't compete with a river. The sun doesn't compete with the moon. Each fulfills its own purpose. So should you. Here's something most people never hear. Purpose isn't something you magically discover one morning. It becomes clearer through action. As you grow, your purpose grows. As you serve, your purpose expands. As you learn, your vision becomes sharper. Stop waiting for perfect clarity before moving. Movement often creates clarity. Have you noticed how some people seem full of energy no matter how busy they are? It's not because their lives are easier. It's because their work has meaning. Meaning creates endurance. Meaning creates resilience. Meaning gives ordinary days extraordinary significance. When your purpose is clear, even small actions become powerful because you know they are leading somewhere important. Now pause for just a moment. Imagine meeting yourself 5 years from today. 2 versions are standing in front of you. The first version continued making excuses, kept procrastinating, stayed distracted, ignored discipline, avoided growth. That version carries regret. The second version made different choices, worked on these 10 things every single day, not perfectly, but consistently. That version stands taller, speaks with confidence, lives with peace, has become someone others look to for inspiration. The distance between those 2 people is not luck. It is daily decisions. And every one of those decisions begins today. Tomorrow will ask you the same questions. Will you protect your mindset? Will you choose discipline over comfort? Will you keep learning? Will you care for your health? Will you guard your focus? Will you maintain a winning attitude? Will you communicate with wisdom? Will you protect your character? Will you take meaningful action? Will you live with purpose? Life will never answer those questions for you. Only your actions can. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to master all 10 overnight. You simply have to become a little better than you were yesterday. Because success is never built in one extraordinary day. It is built through ordinary days, repeated with extraordinary commitment. The final truth is more powerful than anything we've discussed so far. It explains why some people transform their lives beyond recognition, while others remain trapped in the same place for years. And once you understand this one principle, you'll never look at your daily choices the same way again. There is one final truth that quietly sits behind everything you've heard today. It is simple enough for a child to understand, yet powerful enough to change an entire lifetime. Your life is always moving in the direction of your daily habits, not your intentions, not your wishes, not your excuses, your habits. That means every morning, before the world demands your attention, before anyone tells you who you should be, before distractions begin pulling you in every direction, you are already making decisions that will shape your future. The frightening part is that most of those decisions happen automatically. You wake up the same way. You think the same thoughts. You respond to the same problems. You repeat the same routines. Then you expect different results. But life doesn't work that way. Imagine watching a movie where every single day is exactly the same. The same conversations, the same actions, the same reactions. If someone asked you how the movie ends, you probably wouldn't need to watch it. You could predict the ending because the pattern never changes. Your life is no different. If you continue repeating the same habits, you can predict where you'll be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The future is hidden inside today's routine. That's why changing your life doesn't begin with changing your destination. It begins with changing your direction. A ship that adjusts its course by only a few degrees may arrive on an entirely different continent months later. Tiny changes, massive results. That is the quiet power of consistency. People often underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 years because they overestimate what they can accomplish in 5 days. They become impatient. They want instant success, instant confidence, instant wealth, instant transformation. But nature teaches a different lesson. The tallest trees in the forest didn't grow overnight. The strongest mountains weren't formed in a weekend. The deepest oceans weren't filled in a day. Everything that lasts takes time. So why should your success be any different? There will be mornings when you don't feel motivated. Work anyway. There will be days when progress seems invisible. Keep going anyway. There will be moments when people doubt you. Keep building anyway. One day, those same people may call you lucky. They'll see the results. They won't see the years of quiet discipline that created them. Never confuse visible success with overnight success. Behind every meaningful achievement are countless unseen mornings, countless difficult choices, countless moments where someone decided not to quit. That's where greatness is born, not on the stage, not in front of applause, but in ordinary moments when nobody is watching. Character is built there. Confidence is built there. Dreams are built there. Every sunrise gives you a new opportunity. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter how many opportunities you've missed. It doesn't matter how long you've been stuck. The past can teach you, but it doesn't have to define you. Some people spend years carrying guilt like a heavy chain around their ankles. They replay old failures, old disappointments, old regrets. They keep looking backward while trying to move forward. Imagine trying to drive a car while staring only into the rearview mirror. How far would you get? Not very far. Learn from yesterday, but live for today, because today is the only place where change can happen. No one has ever changed yesterday. No one has ever worked tomorrow. Every meaningful decision is made in the present moment, right now. As you listen to these words, your future is quietly waiting, not for someday, not for next year, for today. Maybe today is the day you finally begin reading instead of scrolling. Maybe today is the day you finally exercise instead of making another excuse. Maybe today is the day you finally forgive someone, including yourself. Maybe today is the day you finally start the business you've been postponing. Maybe today is the day you finally write the first page of the book you've been carrying in your heart. Maybe today is the day you stop waiting for permission to become the person you already know you can be. Remember something important. You don't have to become extraordinary today. You simply have to refuse to remain average by choice. Improve one habit. Read one chapter. Take one walk. Have one meaningful conversation. Save a little money. Learn one new skill. Encourage one person. Keep one promise to yourself. Those small victories may seem insignificant, but they are not. Success is nothing more than small victories repeated until they become a remarkable life. One decision becomes one habit. One habit becomes one routine. One routine becomes one lifestyle. And one lifestyle becomes your legacy. Years from now, people may admire what you've accomplished. They may see your confidence, your peace, your wisdom, your success, but they'll never fully understand where it began. It began with one ordinary day when you decided that your future was worth more than your comfort. That one decision changed everything. So as this day comes to an end, ask yourself one final question. If I continue living exactly the way I am living today, where will I be 5 years from now? Don't answer with hope. Answer with honesty. Because honesty is the beginning of transformation. If the answer excites you, keep going. If the answer scares you, change your direction while you still can. Life is generous. It gives you another sunrise, another opportunity, another chance to become stronger, another chance to become wiser, another chance to become the person you were meant to become. Never waste the gift of another day. Protect your mind. Strengthen your discipline. Expand your knowledge. Care for your health. Guard your focus. Choose a positive attitude. Speak with purpose. Live with integrity. Take bold action. And never lose sight of the reason you're doing it all. One day, you'll look back and realize that your greatest breakthrough didn't happen because of one lucky moment. It happened because you refused to give up on the ordinary days. Those ordinary days became extraordinary years. Those extraordinary years became an extraordinary life. The life you've always imagined is not waiting at the end of some distant road. It is being built by the choices you make today. So begin. Begin before you feel ready. Begin before everything is perfect. Begin while you're still afraid. Because the person you dream of becoming is already waiting on the other side of your decision to start. The future belongs to those who honor today, and today is in your hands.